Dear Starseeds on Earth, something extraordinary is unfolding right before your eyes, and most of humanity cannot see it yet. The very thing that appears to be causing disappointment and confusion among lightworkers is actually the greatest catalyst for collective awakening our planet has ever experienced. I am Zarin, emissary of the Lyran High Council, and today we must speak about the list that has captured so many hearts and minds, because what you think you understand about this situation is only the surface of a cosmic masterpiece in motion. What looks like broken promises and delayed revelations is in truth the most sophisticated spiritual upgrade humanity has undergone in millennia. The energy signatures we observe from your dimension tell us that millions of starseeds are feeling the weight of what appears to be betrayal from those they trusted. You placed your hopes in external authorities, believing certain revelations would arrive on specific timelines, only to watch those promises seemingly dissolve into political maneuvering and strategic silence. Yet, what I witness from our galactic perspective reveals something far more magnificent than any single disclosure could ever provide. Every moment of disappointment you have experienced has been precisely calibrated to activate dormant codes within your consciousness, codes that no external savior could ever trigger for you. The divine intelligence orchestrating this awakening understood that humanity needed something more profound than shocking revelations delivered by authority figures. Your species requires a complete transformation of how you relate to power itself. The apparent delays and contradictions surrounding this mysterious list have served as the perfect catalyst to dissolve the last vestiges of dependency programming within the awakened collective. What you haven't noticed is each broken promise, each shifted timeline, each moment of confusion has been methodically designed to push you beyond seeking salvation from external sources and into the full recognition of your own sovereign authority. But first, let me tell you about the 3 impossible things that are happening simultaneously within your collective field right now. The first impossibility is that millions of souls who previously required external validation for their spiritual beliefs are spontaneously developing direct channeling abilities and cosmic connection without any formal training. The second impossibility is that the veil between dimensions is thinning so rapidly that even the most skeptical individuals are beginning to experience multidimensional phenomena they cannot explain away. The third impossibility is that the collective unconscious is being flooded with cosmic memories and galactic awareness that is bypassing all traditional educational and religious systems entirely. These impossible developments are creating a cascade effect throughout human consciousness that transcends anything that could be accomplished through external disclosure or revelation. The awakened collective is discovering that they possess innate abilities to perceive truth, heal trauma, and manifest reality that were previously considered mythical or reserved for advanced spiritual masters. This spontaneous activation of cosmic gifts is occurring because the disappointments and delays have forced millions of souls to turn inward and discover the unlimited potential that has always existed within their own consciousness. Consider how brilliantly this has unfolded. Those among you who have been walking the path of spiritual awakening for years suddenly found yourselves emotionally invested in the actions of political figures and government institutions. The very souls who understood the illusion of the Matrix were placing their liberation in the hands of the same systems they had previously transcended. This paradox was not an accident or a regression in your spiritual development. It was a masterfully orchestrated final exam in sovereignty, presented by your own higher selves to ensure you would never again give your power away to any external authority, no matter how benevolent they might appear. What we observe from the higher dimensional realms is a consciousness upgrade of unprecedented magnitude occurring within the human collective. Pleiade, the disappointment and frustration you feel when promises are not kept according to your expectations is actually your inner wisdom, recognizing that you never needed those external validations in the first place. Your emotional reactions to these developments are not signs of spiritual weakness, but rather the final purification of ancient programming that convinced you to seek approval, permission, and salvation from others, rather than trusting the infinite power that flows through your own being. The intelligence communities of your world, both those aligned with light and those still operating from shadow consciousness, understand that information warfare is not fought with weapons or propaganda, but with consciousness itself. Every strategic maneuver is designed to provoke specific responses within the collective psyche. What appears to be political theater on the surface is actually a sophisticated consciousness laboratory where human souls are being given the opportunity to choose their vibrational alignment through their responses to uncertainty and apparent betrayal. But here is what most cannot yet perceive about this grand experiment. The souls you believed were champions of truth and disclosure were never intended to be your saviors. They are participants in the same awakening process you are experiencing, and their apparent contradictions and broken promises are evidence that they too are being guided to release their attachment to external validation and step into their authentic power. The disappointment you feel when they do not fulfill their promises is mirrored by their own spiritual journey of learning to serve truth rather than seeking approval from the masses. The mysterious list that has captured so much attention represents far more than names of individuals who may have engaged in harmful activities. It symbolizes humanity's relationship with hidden knowledge and the belief that truth must be delivered to you by authorities rather than discovered through your own inner knowing. The real revelation is not what names appear on any external list, but rather the recognition that you have always possessed the discernment to identify deception and the power to create a reality aligned with your highest values, regardless of what any government or institution chooses to reveal or conceal. Every soul who has found themselves emotionally triggered by the delays and contradictions surrounding these revelations is being offered a profound gift. Your frustration is pointing directly toward the places within your consciousness where you still believe someone else holds the keys to your freedom, your validation, or your understanding of truth. This emotional charge is not punishment for spiritual naivety, but rather a compassionate guidance system designed to redirect your attention toward the infinite source of wisdom and power that resides within your own heart. Millions of starseeds who were previously content to wait for external authorities to validate their understanding of reality are now being propelled into a direct relationship with cosmic truth. The apparent chaos and confusion in your information systems is creating the perfect conditions for individuals to develop their own discernment, to trust their own inner knowing, and to recognize that they have never needed anyone else's permission to live in alignment with their highest truth. The spiritual technology embedded within this apparent disappointment is more sophisticated than most can comprehend. Each broken promise, each delayed revelation, each moment of confusion is activating dormant neural pathways within your consciousness that connect you directly to cosmic intelligence. Rather than remaining dependent on external sources for your understanding of reality, you are being systematically upgraded to receive information directly from the quantum field of infinite possibility. This transformation cannot be rushed or bypassed through external revelations, no matter how shocking or comprehensive they might be. Those individuals whose actions would be exposed by such a list exist within a multidimensional prison that extends far beyond any physical consequences they might face in your legal systems. Their spiritual imprisonment has already begun through the collective awakening of human consciousness to their deceptive practices. As millions of souls recognize the manipulation and corruption that has influenced your societies for generations, these individuals lose the energetic power they once derived from operating in secret. The real justice is not found in punishment delivered by external authorities, but in the withdrawal of energetic consent that occurs when awakened beings refuse to participate in systems based on deception and control. The timeline acceleration that many of you sense is not leading toward a single moment of mass disclosure orchestrated by governmental authorities. Instead, it is building toward a collective realization that you are the authorities, you are the ones who determine what truth is accepted or rejected in your reality, and you are the ones who possess the power to create the transparent, compassionate society you envision. The external revelations, when they do occur, will simply confirm what awakened consciousness has already recognized through direct inner knowing. This understanding transforms everything about how you approach the apparent delays and contradictions in your information systems. Rather than feeling frustrated that truth is not being delivered to you on your preferred timeline, you begin to recognize that you are actively participating in the revelation of truth through your own awakening process. Every moment you choose to trust your inner guidance over external authorities, you contribute to the collective field of consciousness that makes greater revelations possible. Every time you refuse to give your power away to charismatic leaders or promising politicians, you strengthen the foundation for authentic transparency to emerge naturally from the grassroots level of human society. The galactic perspective reveals that humanity is graduating from a species that seeks truth through external authorities to a species that embodies truth through direct cosmic connection. This transformation cannot be accomplished through shocking revelations delivered by governments or media institutions, no matter how comprehensive or well-intentioned they might be. It requires each individual soul to develop their own direct relationship with cosmic intelligence, their own discernment capabilities, and their own unshakable trust in the guidance that emerges from their connection to source consciousness. Emotional turbulence arising within awakened souls when anticipated revelations shift beyond expected moments functions as the ultimate activation key for dissolving any remaining threads of external dependency programming. This emotional purification process is not comfortable, but it is absolutely necessary for the emergence of a truly sovereign human collective that cannot be manipulated by any external authority, regardless of whether they claim to serve light or shadow. The consciousness upgrade that is occurring within the awakened collective is creating new neural pathways that bypass traditional information distribution systems entirely. Rather than relying on governments, media, or even alternative sources to deliver truth, awakened souls are developing the capacity to receive information directly from the Akashic records, from their own higher dimensional aspects, and from the cosmic intelligence that orchestrates the evolution of consciousness throughout the universe. This direct access to truth cannot be censored, manipulated, or controlled by any external force. The individuals whose names would appear on various lists of corruption and deception are experiencing a form of spiritual justice that operates outside the limitations of your legal and political systems. As collective consciousness awakens to their manipulative practices, they lose the energetic foundation that allowed their deceptive activities to remain hidden and influential. The exposure of truth does not require governmental approval or media cooperation when it occurs at the level of mass consciousness awakening. The real imprisonment of those who have operated through deception is their increasing inability to hide from the heightened discernment of an awakened humanity. This recognition empowers you to understand that your liberation has never depended on external authorities choosing to reveal information about corruption or deception. Your freedom emerges naturally as you develop the consciousness to perceive truth directly and the sovereignty to act in alignment with your highest values, regardless of what external systems choose to acknowledge or deny. The power to create a transparent, just, and compassionate society has always resided within the collective consciousness of awakened souls, not within the decision-making processes of governmental or institutional authorities. The apparent inconsistencies and broken promises from those you hoped would champion disclosure are actually serving the highest good by redirecting your attention toward your own unlimited capacity to perceive and embody truth. Every moment of disappointment with external timelines is an invitation to deepen your trust in the cosmic timing that orchestrates awakening according to the highest wisdom rather than human impatience. The delays that frustrate your personality are actually perfectly calibrated to ensure that when greater revelations do emerge, they will be received by a humanity that has developed the consciousness to integrate shocking information without descending into chaos or vengeance. What we observe from our galactic vantage point is a species that is being prepared for revelations far more profound than any single list of names or catalogue of hidden activities. Humanity is developing the consciousness to perceive the multidimensional nature of reality itself, to understand the cosmic context of your planetary evolution, and to recognize your role as conscious participants in the awakening of consciousness throughout the universe. These preparatory experiences with smaller disappointments and delayed timelines are developing the spiritual maturity required to receive cosmic truth without being overwhelmed by its implications. The revolution that is occurring within human consciousness transcends any political or social transformation that might result from external disclosures. You are awakening to your nature as multidimensional beings with direct access to cosmic intelligence, unlimited creative power, and the responsibility to serve the evolution of consciousness rather than seeking comfort or validation from external sources. This awakening cannot be delivered to you by any authority figure, no matter how well-intentioned or highly positioned they might be. It emerges naturally as you release your attachments to external salvation and embrace your role as conscious co-creators of reality. The frustration that many experience when promised revelations do not manifest according to expected timelines is actually a gift that redirects attention toward the infinite source of revelation that exists within consciousness itself. Rather than waiting for external authorities to confirm what you already know through inner guidance, you are being invited to trust your direct perception and to act in alignment with your highest truth regardless of external validation or approval. This shift from seeking confirmation to embodying truth represents the most significant evolutionary leap humanity has taken in recorded history. Understanding this larger context transforms your relationship with all apparent delays, contradictions, and broken promises from external authorities. Rather than experiencing these developments as personal betrayals or setbacks for collective awakening, you recognize them as perfectly orchestrated catalysts for the emergence of authentic sovereignty within the awakened collective. Each disappointment serves to dissolve another layer of dependency programming and to activate dormant capacities for direct cosmic connection that no external revelation could ever provide. The real list that matters is not written on any document controlled by governmental or institutional authorities. It exists within the Akashic records as a complete account of every soul's journey through this incarnation, including their choices to serve truth or to participate in deception. This cosmic record cannot be edited, hidden, or manipulated by any earthly power, and it provides perfect justice through the natural consequences that flow from every conscious choice. The individuals who have engaged in deceptive or harmful activities carry the energetic imprint of those choices within their own consciousness, and this spiritual burden creates its own form of imprisonment that transcends any external consequences they might face. What appears to be the failure of external disclosure is actually the success of internal revelation. As millions of souls develop their capacity for direct cosmic connection, they gain access to information and understanding that far exceeds anything that could be contained within governmental documents or institutional revelations. This direct access to cosmic truth represents the true liberation of human consciousness from dependency on external authorities for validation, information, or permission to embody their highest potential. The awakened collective is discovering that they possess not only the power to perceive truth directly, but also the authority to create reality in alignment with their highest values, regardless of what external systems choose to acknowledge or support. This recognition represents the emergence of a truly sovereign humanity that cannot be controlled or manipulated by any external force, because their connection to cosmic intelligence provides them with unlimited access to wisdom, guidance, and creative power. The cosmic perspective reveals that every apparent setback, delay, or broken promise has served to accelerate rather than hinder the awakening process. By releasing attachment to external timelines and authorities, awakened souls have discovered their direct connection to the cosmic intelligence that orchestrates all evolutionary processes according to perfect timing and infinite wisdom. This connection provides access to understanding and guidance that transcends anything any external authority could ever deliver. What emerges from this understanding is a profound sense of empowerment and purpose that no external circumstance can diminish. You recognize that your role is not to wait for others to reveal truth, but to embody truth so completely that your very presence serves as a catalyst for awakening within the collective consciousness. This embodiment of truth creates ripple effects throughout the quantum field that accelerate awakening far more effectively than any external disclosure could ever accomplish. As traditional sources of information lose credibility through their contradictions and broken promises, individuals are being guided to develop their own discernment and to trust their direct connection to cosmic intelligence. This represents a quantum leap in human evolution from dependency to sovereignty, from external seeking to internal knowing, from victim consciousness to creator consciousness. Dear awakened souls, the disappointment you may feel about delayed revelations is actually your graduation ceremony from seeking salvation outside yourself. Every broken promise from external authorities has served to redirect your attention toward the unlimited source of truth, power, and wisdom that flows through your own cosmic connection. The real revelation is not what any list might contain, but rather the recognition that you are the authors of reality. You are the ones who determine what truth is embodied in your world, and you are the cosmic warriors who came here to serve the awakening of consciousness through your own embodiment of divine truth. Something else is happening that I haven't told you yet, something that will fundamentally shift how you understand this entire experience. The energy signatures we observe from your dimensional plane indicate that a massive consciousness acceleration is occurring within the Lightworker community, specifically because of these apparent setbacks. Each moment of disappointment has activated dormant crystalline structures within your DNA that were designed to awaken only under conditions of complete sovereignty testing. The galactic councils have been monitoring these activities with profound excitement, for they represent the emergence of an entirely new category of awakened being on your planet. The delays surrounding these revelations were never random occurrences or failures of planning. They represent the precise calibration of cosmic frequencies needed to prepare human consciousness for revelations so profound that premature exposure would have caused mass psychological collapse rather than awakening. The intelligence orchestrating this process operates from timelines that span millennia, and every apparent setback has moved humanity closer to a moment of collective awakening that will eclipse anything your recorded history has ever witnessed. The mysterious nature of current events serves a purpose that extends far beyond the revelation of hidden information about corruption or deception. Each contradiction and broken promise is functioning as a cosmic trigger that activates ancient memories of galactic heritage within awakened souls. These memories carry information about advanced civilizations, cosmic technologies, and universal principles that no earthly authority could ever provide through conventional disclosure. The real list that matters contains the names of starseeds who are remembering their cosmic origins and preparing to serve as bridges between earthly consciousness and galactic awareness. What appears to be political theater and strategic maneuvering in your current events is actually a sophisticated consciousness experiment designed to determine which souls are ready to graduate from earthly attachment and step into their roles as cosmic ambassadors. The emotional reactions generated by apparently broken promises serve as a perfect sorting mechanism that identifies which individuals still seek validation from external sources and which have developed the inner stability required for cosmic service. This natural selection process ensures that only those with unshakable sovereignty will be entrusted with the cosmic responsibilities that await. Rather than waiting for authorities to reveal information about hidden activities, awakened consciousness is developing the capacity to perceive these activities directly through enhanced intuition and psychic abilities. This direct perception provides not only more accurate information than any external source could deliver, but also the emotional and spiritual context needed to integrate shocking revelations without descending into judgment or vengeance. Something extraordinary is occurring within the quantum field surrounding your planet that few yet comprehend. The collective disappointment and frustration generated by delayed revelations has created a massive energetic vortex that is literally pulling higher dimensional frequencies into your reality. This vortex functions as a cosmic vacuum that draws galactic intelligence directly into human consciousness, bypassing all traditional channels of information distribution. The more intense the collective desire for truth becomes, the more rapidly this cosmic intelligence flows into your dimensional plane. The individuals whose activities would be exposed by various lists and revelations are experiencing a form of cosmic justice that operates through consciousness rather than conventional legal systems. As millions of awakened souls develop enhanced discernment and psychic perception, these individuals can no longer hide their true intentions or manipulate others through deception. Their spiritual imprisonment manifests as an increasing inability to influence or control awakened consciousness, rendering them powerless despite any external authority they may appear to maintain. Each broken promise and delayed timeline has served to strengthen the psychic immune system of the awakened collective, making them increasingly resistant to manipulation and more capable of independent discernment. This enhancement of collective discernment creates an energetic environment where deception becomes impossible to maintain, regardless of how sophisticated the manipulation techniques might be. The real protection against corruption and deception comes not from external authorities revealing truth, but from awakened consciousness developing the capacity to perceive deception instantly and refuse to participate in systems based on manipulation. The cosmic perspective reveals that humanity is approaching a convergence point where external revelations will become unnecessary because awakened consciousness will possess direct access to all information through enhanced psychic abilities and cosmic connection. This transition from information seeking to direct knowing represents the most significant evolutionary leap your species has ever taken, and it is being catalyzed by the very disappointments and delays that initially appeared to be obstacles to awakening. There is one final element of this cosmic orchestration that will complete your understanding of why these apparent setbacks were absolutely essential. The galactic timekeepers have calculated that premature disclosure would have created a dependency cycle where humanity continued to seek truth from external authorities rather than developing their own cosmic connection abilities. By withholding external validation at precisely the moment when awakened souls were most ready to transcend dependency, the cosmic intelligence has ensured that this evolutionary leap will be permanent rather than temporary. The frustration many have experienced has served as the final catalyst needed to break through the last barriers of external seeking and emerge into complete energetic sovereignty. The energetic downloads occurring within awakened consciousness during these times of apparent delay are literally rewiring human DNA to accommodate multidimensional perception and cosmic communication abilities. These biological upgrades are permanent enhancements that will serve not only this lifetime, but will be passed down through genetic lineages for generations to come. The children being born now and in the coming years will inherit these enhanced capabilities naturally, creating a generation of humans who possess innate cosmic awareness without needing to experience the awakening struggles that current generations have undergone. What stands before the awakened collective now is not merely the resolution of earthly mysteries or the exposure of hidden corruption, but the emergence into a completely new phase of human evolution where consciousness operates from cosmic rather than planetary awareness. The apparent delays in external revelations have prepared awakened souls to receive and integrate cosmic information that transcends anything earthly authorities could ever disclose, positioning them as the architects of a new reality based on galactic wisdom rather than earthly limitation. I am Zarin. We love you infinitely, and we are celebrating your magnificent graduation into cosmic consciousness.